Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome. So, when you see a piano, what comes to mind? Maybe boring, old school music class, right? But what if I told you that this thing is actually one of the most incredible pieces of high performance tech ever built? Seriously. Today, we're going to crack it open and see what makes this machine tick and how it completely changed the game for music forever.
So let's get right into it. You walk up to a piano, you press a key, a sound comes out. Simple, right? But what really happens inside that big wooden box? It's not just a button. It's this insane chain reaction, a piece of genius engineering that's been tweaked and perfected for over 300 years. Let's follow that command from your fingertip all the way to your eardrum.
All right, so here's the game plan for our mission today. First, we're going to look at the OG upgrade, why the piano was such a big deal in the first place. Then, we'll take a tour inside the sound machine itself. After that, we'll check out the foot controls, meet the absolute level bosses who mastered this thing, and finally, we'll break down the acoustic versus digital rigs you can get today. Let's do it.
Okay, first things first. We gotta understand why the piano was such a complete game changer. Before this thing came along, music was, well, it was kind of stuck. Musicians were basically locked into one volume setting. Imagine playing a video game where your character can only sprint. No walking, no sneaking, just full-on running all the time. That's kind of what music was like. But that all changed way back around the year 1700. There was this Italian inventor, Bartolomeo Cristofori, and he came up with this brand new instrument, and it had this ridiculously long name, the gravicembalo col piano e forte. Yeah, try saying that 5 times fast. It literally just means a harpsichord with soft and loud. Thankfully, people got tired of saying all that and just shortened it to the piano. Much better. So what was the big tech upgrade here? Well, the old harpsichord plucked its strings, kind of like a guitar, and that meant you got the exact same volume no matter how hard or soft you pressed the key. But Cristofori's invention, it used these tiny felt hammers to strike the strings, and that right there was the game changer. For the very first time, how you played actually mattered. You could press a key gently for a soft sound or really smash it for a loud one. Suddenly, you had total control over the dynamics. All right, now for the really cool part. Let's pop the hood and see the hardware humming away inside. Think of it like cracking open a high-end gaming PC to see how the motherboard, the GPU, and all the fans work together to create something awesome. Our tour has to start with the user interface, right? And that's the 88 keys. This is your control panel. With this set of white and black keys, you have access to a massive range of sounds, from the super low rumbles that you can feel in your chest to the highest, brightest pings. And a piano key is so much more than a simple on-off button. The second you press one, you launch this incredible mechanical process. A whole system of levers instantly throws a tiny hammer forward to hit a string. And then, the moment you lift your finger, a little felt pad called a damper drops down to stop the sound cold. It all happens in a split second. It's super fast and incredibly precise. So what are those little hammers actually hitting? Well, inside this box, there are over 200 high-tensile steel strings, all stretched out and just waiting for your command. The really low notes have these long, thick, heavy strings, and the super high notes have short, thin ones. And get this, every single one of those strings is pulled incredibly tight. The combined tension, all of them pulling at once, adds up to several tons of force. I'm serious. That's why the inside of a piano has this massive, super heavy cast iron frame. It's literally the only thing strong enough to stop the whole instrument from just folding in on itself. Wild, right? But here's a little secret. The strings by themselves, they're actually pretty quiet. The real magic, the thing that makes a piano so loud, is the soundboard. It's this huge, thin sheet of wood that the strings are attached to. When the strings vibrate, the whole soundboard vibrates with them. You can think of it like a giant, built-in, all-natural amplifier. It takes those tiny string vibrations and blasts them out into that rich, powerful sound that can fill a whole concert hall. Okay, but your control over this machine isn't just in your fingertips. If you look down, you'll find the pedals. The best way to think about these is like special accessories, or power-ups, that add all these awesome effects to your sound. So here's your basic pedal loadout. The one on the far right is the sustain pedal. This is the one everyone uses. It lifts all those dampers off the strings, so the notes just keep ringing out and blending together. It's kind of like adding a blur effect in Photoshop. Then you've got the left pedal, the soft pedal. It does exactly what it sounds like, makes everything quieter. And the middle one? That's more of a pro-level tool. It sustains only the specific notes your fingers are holding down when you press it. Pretty cool. Okay, so you have this incredible machine, but who were the first players to really push it to its absolute limits? It's time to meet a couple of the original piano-level bosses. These guys were the pro gamers of their day, for sure.
First up, Ludwig van Beethoven. If the piano was a brand new console with amazing new hardware, Beethoven was like the genius developer who first figured out how to unlock its true power.
This dude took that whole piano and forte, soft and loud idea and just sprinted with it. He wrote music that was full of these massive, explosive emotions. He'd go from a passage that was barely a whisper to a huge roaring chord in a split second. He used the piano's full dynamic range like nobody had ever dared to before. And if Beethoven was the developer, then our next guy, he was the final boss, Franz Liszt. You could say he was the pro gamer who perfected the speed run. This guy was a total rock star generations before rock and roll was even a thing. So while Beethoven unlocked the piano's emotional power, Liszt pushed its technical limits to the absolute brink. He was a true virtuoso, and he wrote music that was so insanely fast and complicated that it was basically designed for one purpose: to show off his ridiculous skills. His stuff is still considered some of the hardest music ever written. We're talking final boss level, for real. Okay, let's fast forward to today. The piano is obviously still going strong, but now you've got options. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation anymore. So let's break down the main rigs you can choose from and figure out which one might be for you. So first, in the acoustic world, you basically have two main types. There's the grand piano. Think of this as the high-end, custom-built gaming PC. It's huge, it's powerful, its strings are horizontal for the best possible sound. This is what you see on a concert stage. Then you have the upright piano. This is more like your PlayStation or Xbox. It's more compact because the strings are vertical to save space, and it's perfect for practicing at home. And then, of course, there's the modern upgrade, the digital piano. So how does it stack up? Well, an acoustic piano makes sound with actual, physical strings and hammers. A digital piano uses really high-quality recordings, they're called samples, of a real piano. The big trade-offs: a digital piano will never need to be tuned by a professional. You get a volume knob, you get a headphone jack for practicing without bothering anyone, and they're way lighter and more portable. It's really all about the modern conveniences.
And you gotta remember, this isn't just an instrument for old classical music. Not at all. From jazz and blues all the way to the pop and rock songs you listen to every single day, the piano is often the secret ingredient, that hidden backbone, laying down the powerful chords and catchy melodies that make a great song work.
So if there's only one thing you take away from all this, I want it to be this. The piano is so much more than just an instrument. It is an absolutely incredible piece of engineering, a super complex machine designed for one ultimate purpose: maximum human expression. That's what it's all about. From Cristofori's very first hammer design to the super advanced digital pianos we have today, this machine has been evolving for over 300 years. And that leaves us with one last question. What's next? What do you think the next big upgrade for this incredible sound machine is going to be? Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for hanging out today.